feel like the difference was tonight?
They won the possession battle, and then our 19 turnovers for 28 points, offensive rebounds. So it's hard to win anytime you give up, double-digit more opportunities to score. So we got to clean that up.
Clearly, Luka wasn't feeling well. JJ said he was throwing up all day. What did you see from him, and how did you and LeBron try to take on a little bit more with him not feeling well out there?
Yeah, I just seen him. He gave it everything he had tonight. Played 40 minutes. Did everything he could do to help us win. We had an opportunity. I think it was one possession game with 3 minutes left, and we just couldn't get it done.
What was the feeling like amongst you guys just now in the locker room, knowing that you were 3 minutes away from maybe going ahead in the series and looking ahead at Game 4 Sunday, quick turnaround?
Yeah, mood's good. We see the spots where we have to be better to win games, and we'll have to fix that on Sunday.
Austin, with some of the threes that you guys gave up in the fourth, did you see any trends in terms of, was it over helping or doubling on certain situations, or what did you see in terms of how they got some of those looks?
I'll have to go back and watch the film. That's all I can really give you right now.
Well, when we spoke with JJ, he mentioned that ball containment is especially important for you guys because you guys don't have a traditional rim protector. How much did you feel that Anthony Edwards was able to better exploit that tonight compared to the first two games and the way that he attacked your guys' defense?
Ant's a really good player. He's going to play in this league for a long time, make a lot of money, get a lot of buckets, win a lot of games. So, that's what good players do. They figure it out. And we'll have to go back to the drawing board and see what we can do to slow him down and win on Sunday.
A couple guys, Austin and JJ, have talked about the turnovers, a kind of an obvious thing that stood out. But when you were out there in this smaller lineup, what is the difficulty in keeping Minnesota out of the paint and then kind of trying to find ways to protect the rim without that specific lineup?
Just got to do a better job of stand in front of the ball. I feel like we were just giving up too many blow-bys. It really ain't had nothing to do with our size. It was just probably the on-ball defense and rotation outside of when we got to scramble. I feel like we ain't have the sense of urgency the whole game, and they did, and they made some big shots at the end of the game.
Yeah, you guys did do that in Game 2. It seemed like that was part of the difference. Do you feel like that's in there? Can you get that back for Game 4?
For sure. We had some live ball turnovers too. Some free throw. We shot a free throw and they got a layup. So it's just a bunch of things we can control. I think they would have got 14 more attempts. 13 more shots attempts at the rim than us. So they won the possession game. We just got to do a better job collectively.
Despite the disparity in turnovers and also them doubling you up in points in the paint, it's still a tied game with 4 minutes to go. How do you guys let go of the feeling of frustration that you could have got one to just make all the focus be about Game 4 on Sunday?
That's the positive way of looking at things. We, like you said, we was battling. Even though we wasn't playing as well, it was a tie game. With 4 minutes left, we gave ourselves a chance, especially on the road, tie game for them. You can't ask for no better situation in the playoffs. But they just made all the right plays at the end of the game, and we did.
Though we obviously know Luka was going through the stomach bug and throwing up before the game and whatnot. You know him as well as anyone. You've talked about how he hates to miss games, hates he'll play through whatever he can. What did you see from him tonight, just in terms of gutting through that performance?
Man, just him fighting, man. He was fighting, trying to be there for us. I didn't think he was gonna come out second half, and he I looked at his elbow. He had like a big knot on his elbow. I was like, God damn, you sick and you getting beat up still. So he's just a tough guy. I know he want to win. He'll be ready next game.
You mean you didn't really come out of that?
Halftime. Yeah. No, just because how he sound. His body language, how he look. He look a little pale today. He probably need to hydrate some more. But like I say, Luka tough. And he made some tough shots in that fourth quarter to get us back, back in striking distance.
Noticed Luka wasn't feeling like himself. Do you then have to kind of ramp up certain things in your game in the scoring, and how did you feel like that impacted the night overall?
I mean, well, obviously, with his illness, it impacts our team. We understand what he brings to our team and what he's done since the acquisition. So, it definitely took a big blow for our team.
You've been down 2-1 before in a series on the road. What are the most important things you guys have to do to bounce back for that game 4?
We got to control the controllables, and I don't think we did that tonight. Obviously, 19 turnovers on the road is not going to be a good ingredient for winning. Giving up 30 points, off those turnovers. They had 20+ points. And transition as well. So, we got to control the controllables, and if we do that, we give ourselves a good chance to win.
You've shown an appreciation for Ant Edwards' game when you've been asked about him over the years. Tonight, you guys were able to, I guess, enjoy like a joyful, competitive nature between the two of you, and then he just was able to kind of just control the action at the end. How tough is he at this stage of his career to contend with in a playoff situation?
Well, obviously, you're only as great as your teammates, allow you to be as well, and obviously, you guys know how much praise I have for Ant and his development over the years, and we had a hell of a summer, and I love everything about Ant, but in a course of a playoff series and things of that nature, when you have your guy step up for you, it allows you to be able to crack the seams of defenses throughout the course of the game. And I thought, the game ball went to Jaden McDaniels. He had 30 and he was aggressive from the start to the finish. I can't remember the last time he took over 20 shots. So that just lets you know what his mindset was. And Ant was just Ant. So.
LeBron, you guys tied the game at 103 with 4:37 left. They closed the game on a 13-1 run. I know you referenced some of the miscues, but was there anything that stood out over the final 4.5 minutes that they were able to do to create that separation?
I can remember some plays, but not all of them. But I'll have to take a look at the film. Obviously, I think it was a tie game. You said 103. Ant hit the 3, right? Top of the key. We came back down. I believe missed the shot. And then Ant drove baseline and found Nas for another 3. I guess I can't remember, huh? No, they just made plays, man. We had opportunities. I think Rui had some good looks. AR had a good look as well. We just